Okay, so the question is to input the employee details, accept the details from the user. That is, input is nothing but accept the details from the user. Once you click on a submit button, you are supposed to get a net salary. You need to generate a net salary, and you need to display them in a text boxes. Along with that, you need to display the message box, which will be giving your name and a net salary. So this is what your program. How will you do this? It's mainly on a designing. What are the requirements for the designing? Go on telling, I'll be inserting it.
Text box.
Let's start from the heading itself. So for the heading, we require
Label.
label. Let me give the name for this. Okay. To to get employee details. Let me just increase the font of it. Okay. So to get the employee details, what are the other requirements? First, let me take a input. What are the employee details? What are the inputs you will take? Yes.
Name and the salary.
Employee ID,
Name. First text box. Next.
Employee ID.
ID. Okay. Next.
date of join,
Okay. You can design it based on any requirements. Date of joining. Next.
enough, ma'am.
Saka. Mr. Saka. Check for your
Salary.
question. So this is about the basic one. Name, ID, date of joining. What about your next part of your program?
We should calculate the net salary. ma'am.
Exactly. You need to calculate the net salary. Net salary. How will you calculate net salary? What are the requirements for net salary? You need a
Salary.
basic salary. You need a
Tax, ma'am.
DA, HRA, IT. Fine. That's it. That will take only these things. Basic, DA, HRA, and IT. So first three boxes will be added. Minus the IT, we will get a net salary. So let me name these things. How will I name these things? Let me just go on inserting first. Change the names later. So what is the first one? What's the first one? What will you enter in the
Employee
first one?
name.
I'll just give it as name. Name. Next.
ID. Employee ID.
ID. Next.
Date of joining.
Date of joining. Next. Basic salary.
Basic salary.
Next. DA.
IT.
HRA. Yes, that's it. HRA. And IT. Okay. So yes, so these are things. Let me align it properly. So this program, in this particular program, they'll mainly see about your designing. So make it more visual appealing. Okay, so that's it. So these are used for entering. So this will be my input text. What is my output?
We need to insert a button, ma'am.
I need to insert a button for processing purpose, correct? Button. So what is the work of this button? What's the work of this button?
To accept the details, given details.
Accept, you will accept it once you give a text boxes, you will accept it. Button for what purpose?
Submit.
Submit.
Process salary.
Submit. Yes, submit. Once I submit it, what will I get? I need to get a
Net salary.
net salary. Net salary should be calculated upon the submit, and that is supposed to be displayed in, according to the first
Text
part, it is
box.
supposed to be displayed in text box. So let me take a text box to display my net salary. Let me give a label for this. I'll give a label where it is displaying the net. This text box will be used for output purpose, net salary. And what is the continuation? It's supposed to display the,
Message box.
I need to give a message box which will be displaying my name and the net salary again, correct? So I need to
Yes,
display
ma'am.
name and net salary. Should I include that in my design? We have said message box to display a name and a salary. Should that be that be inserted in our design time?
Backend, ma'am.
Yes, it will be working in a coding, correct? So this
Yes, ma'am.
is almost the design. So let's cross verify it by running how this application will look when we run it. Yes, so let's check whether it is taking an input. And once I click on submit, I need to get a net salary. Fine. So yes, so it's fine. Now for basic DA, HRA, and IT, you're supposed to use the numbers itself. So it is not supposed to accept the alphabets. For that also you can do, but I'll not make it more complicated. I'll assume the user will know that you're supposed to type the numbers itself. Fine. Continuing, we'll do the coding. Coding should be done for submit. So double click on submit. Not necessary. I don't want you to confuse this. So button. Yes. When I click on button, what should happen? When I click
The
on
net
button, what should
salary
happen?
has,
I need
the
to
net salary has to be
Yes, I need
calculated.
to calculate the net salary. I'll do it directly. Please do understand because it's 7th program and you need to know by this time. So I need to calculate the net salary and display in this particular text box, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this particular text box is named as text box 8. And these are 4, 5, 6, and 7. So instead of having the numbers, let me do certain changes in the properties and hope that will be helping for the, yes. So I'll change the name. I'll be changing the name property, which will be used for my programming purpose. So instead of text box 8, let me give it as TXT, which means text, which will be used for net salary. Text box, I've renamed it as text net salary. So when you are copying it down, when you are copying your front end, you need to in bracket, instead of writing text box 8, now you write it as text net salary. So that is what the name of this particular text box is now. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this, for this particular text box also, I'll change it as TXT basic. I'll say that TXT basic. In each and every program, as we are going the higher level, I'm trying to do the changes. So this is TXCDA. The next one will be, what can I give for this?
ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾರಂತೆ.
TXT, HRA, and I'll give it as TXT ID. Fine. So I've renamed all the text boxes. So this will be, can you see over here? It is renamed as text basic, text DA, text HRA, text ID, and this is text next salary. Fine. So let me now, where should I display my result? I can do the addition directly. Where should I display my result?
Text net salary.
I need to display the result in text net salary. I need to display in a text net salary in which field? In this text box, which property is used for displaying? Yes, which property? Text property. In net salary in text box, which is named as text net salary, the text will get a detail of, I need to have only the integers. So C and which all the text boxes I need to add? Are you getting this? I can do in two formats. One, put all these into variables A, B, C, D. Put all the data how we did in our previous program. That is, put all these into the variables A, B, C, D, and then add for this particular thing, take it as result A plus B plus C minus D. I can do that and then put it into this particular text box. Instead of that, I'm doing it directly. So whatever should be displayed on text net salary dot text, that is, I need to add the basic. I need to add the basic plus yes,
TXTDA
DA
and HRA.
The data present in HRA, correct? And minus,
IT.
I need to reduce the Is this clear? Is this clear? So in all these things, whatever I need to take is, I need to take the text property. So whatever you type in text of text box basic, text of text box DA, text of HRA, and text of IT. Is this clear? I've done in a single line. That's it. Any doubts in this? Confused? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not still clear, let me show. So what I've done is, so instead of this, what you used to do is you used to write n number of lines. That is, you used to first say dim a comma b comma c comma d as integers. Then you'll say a is equal to cn, sorry, int, convert into integer. The first text box, that is basic. Then you will say b is equal to DA, C is equal to HRA, and D is equal to IT. Then what you are supposed to do? Then you are supposed to say it as result. You need to declare another variable over here saying result or net salary. So result is equal to A plus B plus C minus D. And then you need to say it as, that is, you need to say txt next salary dot text is equal to result. You are supposed to say this, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So instead of doing all these things, all these surfaces, as you are familiar with it now, what I did, the entire, instead of these things, instead of declaring a variable, assigning the text into that, and then addition, and then putting it back to the text box, instead of doing all these things, I've done in a single line. Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting a difference? You can write either in this one or even in this way. You can write either in this way or in this way. So what I've done, instead of assigning to everyone, I've directly added it and put it in a text box is necessary. Putting, instead of using a variables as a mediator, I've done it directly. That's it. Clear? Shall I continue with the single line statements itself?
Yes, ma'am.
You are able to understand it, right? Fine. So let me just uncomment it. So yes, this is where my program is. So I've got a result I am putting in a text box. So this is my first part. What is the next one? What's the next one?
Message box.
I need to even display a message box also. I need to display a message box also, where the message box will be consisting of my name, which was typed in this one, in a very similar way, of converting these things into giving a feasible names. In the same way, I can give the names even for this, but I will not give for this because I need to, I want you guys to know the difference. Okay, even this or this, both are fine. But when you are accessing, you need to make sure that you are using the exact name. So for the name, I've not changed it. It is still text box one itself. So I need to make use of, I need to display the text box one dot text. I need to message, I need to in a message box, I need to display the text which has been displayed in a text box text, and along with that, I need to display the net salary also, correct? I need to display the net salary also. So text, whatever present in net salary text, I need to display on that. So I need to display two texts over here. One is a name and then a net salary. So that's the reason I'm concatenating it. This is another operator which is used for concatenating. So both are strings now. Both the text boxes will be consisting of strings. So this string should be concatenated. They are supposed to combine and it should be displayed. So this is what my program is. Can we run the program and check whether it's working?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so once I click on submit, can you see over here? My net salary is being generated by adding the first three first three text boxes minus the last one, and that has been displayed in our text box. Along with that, my message box is being also be displayed with a name and a net salary. Is that clear?
Ma'am, can that be displayed in next line, ma'am? Net salary.
If you want to display in the next line,
Escape characters.
yeah, yeah. Is the program clear now? I'll do the variations. Is the program clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So we have done everything in a single line. We have done everything in a single line. That is, we have made use of text boxes directly instead of a variable. That's it. And we need to display a message box also according to the program. So message box, when you are displaying a message box with two text boxes, you need to do a concatenation operation. That is, I'll be making use of a AND operation. Clear with it? So this was your program. That is your 7th program.